Hey yo, and welcome back to the Heroes of the Storm Fall Regionals in Europe. We are live at DreamHack Valencia, Spain, and it is my honor and pleasure to tell you guys that we are only one semifinals away from determining who's going to make it all the way to the grand finals to fight for that prize pool of $100,000, and also, very importantly, to potentially make it to BlizzCon, because that, without a doubt, is the highlight of the year in every pro gamer's mind. With me on the panel here, once again, Jay, Wolf, and Kalaris. How are you guys doing?
I'm after hearing the prize pool, I'm considering retiring and becoming a pro gamer.
Good luck.
I'm really excited. For me, this is a great opportunity to see Dignitas finally prove themselves in a new meta, a new time period. They got in very early going to the Summer Championship. They didn't go as far as, of course, My Insanity did. Now they can prove themselves yet again. And it's the rise of Team Liquid. They're back. They're in the top 4, and I'm excited to see if they can actually take this and go to a grand finals.
Let's slow down a little bit, though, because they've been there already. It's their time to finally make it all the way to the grand finals, Kalaris.
Yes, and as you say, you know, how Dignitas are going to adapt to this current meta and maybe topple the rise of Team Liquid.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So Dignitas all the way on to the finals. Beautiful, beautiful.
I love this rivalry that is developing here on the panel already. Jay, what do you think is going to come out on top here? Is it even possible to predict it?
I just want to create a rift between me and Kalaris and have some fun with it this round. So
I'll get you.
I'm stuck in between you guys.
He's a bit taller than me.
All right, to make things a little bit more easy to understand for the viewers who just tuned in, we're going to show you guys what the bracket has in store, as we could just see Fnatic prevailed against My Insanity. My Insanity out of the tournament. They will have to try again at Gamescom potentially. But now what we're going to be focusing on is, of course, that Team Liquid series versus Team Dignitas. Another best of 5, so plenty of chances for both teams to come out victorious, Jay.
Every time I see that bracket, I was just like, hey, it's like an all-star match, you know? Like everybody's just out. It's pretty good stuff, man. So
big names all the way, right? Like
these are really cool.
These are teams that have existed in other esports for a long time in Europe, and now they're coming into Heroes of the Storm. We've got the big names, the big sponsors, the fan favorites. It's like a bracket of dreams. It's a dream come true for any Heroes of the Storm fan.
Not only do we have fan favorites, we have Kalaris favorites.
That's true.
They've been there for a while, just saying. Yeah.
And speaking of which, let's now take a closer look at the so-called Kalaris favorites, Team Bakery, I almost said, Team Dignitas, Bakeries, and his boys. They are looking distant and ready. They really want to make themselves reclaim the throne of Europe because they've had it at DreamHack Leicester Regionals here. I'm getting really excited already. So without further ado, guys, let's take a look at Team Dignitas.
I think for us, a key player will probably be either Alex or Jay. They're definitely, you know, the most vocal. They have a lot of responsibility with the team, and it's about them leading, focusing, you know, more on making sure we're confident with what we're playing, especially in the late game. I think we're struggling with some of our compositions in later fights, so I think maybe we'll focus on trying to get heroes that we're more confident with in the late game. If we do feel like we have, you know, those problems, and they'll continue.
And this is crazy. This could turn the game around. Breeze gets the first kill. He's trying to escape. Man's on the team.
Obviously, we went through a big swap. Everybody had our doubts about the decision that we made, and we've been putting a lot of work in. And it'd be nice to prove that, you know, it wasn't a waste, that we made the right decision, and we've worked hard to win this tournament.
Thank you very much. That was an amazing video. Wow, Wolf, by the way, can you keep that passion on the panel?
I can keep that passion. Oh my God, it's Team Dignitas!
Turn it on off like that.
I can turn it on. I can just do it.
Oh, I'm worried.
I've never heard Snitch talk so slowly. I couldn't believe it for a moment there. It was amazing.
Yeah.
He's really feeling the pressure here, I think, as everyone at Dignitas does, man. Here's Alex Pro G, the man of controversy, and I think he's made a lot of improvements with the team roster going into this regional, but I feel like the person to really focus on here is JPL, because he's had to come up. He's the one who was taken off the role onto a new role with a team he's flexible with, a team he's worked with before, but he has to prove himself in a totally different sphere now.
Yo, Mene, oh my God.
Mene, sacre bleu, Mene.
Caldor. That's the Caldor shout out, the head rub. If anybody's wondering why he does that, that's the Caldor shout out.
But to Wolf's point, it's a good job that they've actually been running a lot of double warrior though, because that is a role that he fits to AT. Of course, playing Kerrigan once in a while, but he's on it.
I don't, gosh, I mean, we talk about so many people all the time, but just this weekend alone, JPL has impressed me about as much as anybody in the entire game this weekend. That guy, I can feel the love, guys. I can feel the love.
I wonder, like, who they dedicated this heart to be honst.
Well, it's clearly to me right now.
Oh.
Of course, me. Who else? Come on, guys. Come on.
Dignitas, I mean, they look very confident, and they also look very happy, very relaxed. It's definitely a requirement that you have to have when you go in such an important series as this upcoming semifinals. Do you think they can actually make it happen again, to make it all the way to the grand finals and potentially even snatch that title?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the amount of confidence that we had Bakery up here earlier for the interview, I mean, he looked completely refreshed, renewed. They had an amazing series earlier. They took the game down, and they've just done really well, and I think that they have the potential to make it to the finals for sure.
Absolutely. I'd say they're the favorites, to be totally honest. In my mind, I think that they're looking more solid overall than Team Liquid. Like, Team Liquid has been showing us some gimmicks, some weird drafting. I feel like both Team Liquid and My Insanity have both really kind of gone off the meta. They're like off the radar as to what is considered to be normal and standard, and sometimes it's worked out really well for them, but sometimes not so much. Team Liquid's win over My Insanity was kind of strange and gimmicky, and I think a lot of people look back at that series and be like, does that really even count in a way?
And it's time to put the focus on Dignitas' opponents here in this semifinals. None other than Team Liquid, the guys that beat My Insanity in the group stage, that are known for their weird, sometimes very special tactics. So give it up, guys, for Team Liquid.
So our performance yesterday was pretty sloppy to start with. Like, our first game got crushed pretty much because we're not very confident too much on the map, and they outdrafted us for late game. To win the semi-final today, we definitely still need to clean up a couple of sloppy plays that we make, like dying randomly and not giving up objectives when we have to give them up. Depending on who we face, I think we can definitely make it to the finals.
Here we go. We see Team Liquid assembling and getting ready for this semifinals. It is worth mentioning, though, that they also have the single last remaining Spaniard in this tournament. So maybe Shad will be able to find this extra piece of motivation that will carry his team to victory here, guys.
Yeah, let's take a look at this guy right here. This guy is one of the most famous players on Team Liquid because he's one of the most popular Heroes of the Storm streamers, right?
Yeah.
A lot of his play styles.
Also the best ranged assassin in Europe, I heard.
Yeah, something like that, right? That's it could be somewhat of a reputation, right? But no, seriously, the fact that they have one of their 5 players who's showing how he plays on stream all the time, nonstop, and also taking a lot of his practice time away, that's something to respect in a way, but also could be a detriment.
This guy here yesterday, do you remember all the plays he was making? Yeah. That guy, you want to talk about somebody to highlight.
Because he's from Great Britain, all right? He's one of my bays. Admittedly, he wasn't Dignitas at one point, now not so much, but with this team now, with Gerd as well, we're very good friends, Gerd and Athero, may I add. They just find themselves in such a comfortable position. This is probably the best roster the Team Liquid's had in a long time, especially with this guy as well, and Sports Billy.
Sport Billy, I mean, he is the embodiment of a flexible player. He plays all the roles. He used to be a support. Now he's on a flex ranged assassin position. I mean, there's nothing that this guy cannot play.
Hey, you hit it spot on. I mean, we talked about, hey, sometimes, we highlight the assassins too much, and, you really, because they allows them to shine. But yesterday, the dude was making some serious plays all day.
I want to highlight just as well how good an attitude Team Liquid has in all of their members as well. Sports Billy in particular is someone who has a fantastic attitude towards the game. Isn't really confrontational confrontational with his teammates or whatever. You see a lot of egos in Heroes of the Storm. Let's be honest, I'm a huge one. But other than that, of course, that does cause friction in some of these teams.
Sure.
Team Liquid, though, now has found a roster where they have less friction than ever before, and as such, it really allows them to mold together and mesh together to have this cohesive team.
Team Liquid is actually a team that's basically founded off of an old StarCraft website, and now the site has kind of expanded to other places. But the original the original rosters they had, though, for StarCraft 2 were full of teams of players that respect each other, were friendly towards each other. Usually people have really good attitudes about the game and things of that nature. And of course, it makes sense that what Caleres is saying here about their roster and Heroes of the Storm kind of goes back towards their old and ancient almost tenets of the pro gaming team for Team Liquid.
Right, and I'm pretty sure that the viewers out there are just as curious about the Battlegrounds as we are. So let's actually take a look at what the first Battleground is going to be. And we see Cursed Hollow being chosen. And since it is a best of 5, we will once again enjoy more maps overall, guys.
May I highlight as well, I think Garden of Terror was not banned a single time and then also wasn't picked a single time because nobody wants to play on Garden of Terror. So I'm glad that that's the case.
What makes Garden Terror such...
Don't ask me that question.
Come on, man, you gotta let us know.
Don't ask me that question.
I'm pretty sure there are viewers out there who have never seen the Caleres Garden of Terror despised before, so let us know.
Yeah, what's going on about that? You can't just hate it without a reason.
It's just rubbish. I could rant.
It's just rubbish?
It's just
Such
rubbish.
a British thing to say here. Come on.
It takes too long. we need to get out of here sometime. It's too warm, boys.
Well, that's what
Go on
other
Garden
British
of Terror,
people said
right?
in the past, so we need to get out of here, so...
No. Like 51% of them said, let's get out of here. And that was the bad 51%, my friend.
All right, thank God we're not playing on Garden of Terror before this discussion actually escalates a little bit. So, J-How, Cursed Hollow, how do you like this Battleground?
Well, it lends a lot to different strategies, especially around the global mobility, but it's also something that we see Abathur and the Lost Vikings on. It's something that's not different to what we've seen the past couple days between all the games. We've seen bans on Abathur. We've seen things like that. But of course, Falstad being the #1 pick, I think a lot of people will go with just because he's able to get across the map in a hurry.
Right, Falstad, ever so powerful, in the hands of...
Do you guys remember who ran Lost Vikings and Abathur on this map?
Of course they do. Team Liquid.
Oh, hey, how about that? Who's in this game? Hey.
Well, they banned Abathur.
Well, I think Abathur is a good ban here. Always a solid ban.
But that's the thing is that we saw My Insanity do the exact same thing. They banned Abathur, then they picked up the Lost Vikings. But at the same time, do you remember what they set up here on stage? He said one of the best players that you can run Lost Vikings with is a Greymane.
It's true, but I think in the end now what we're going to see is probably Greymane Muradin. Giving Arthur Muradin is a good thing, but they're going to go ETC. Okay, never mind. Just ignore me.
I would just love to see something totally unexpected coming out from Team Liquid that would even surprise, like, the most expert of players. I mean, something like a Murky, for example. We haven't seen that hero in ages. It used to work quite splendidly for teams like Fnatic, for example.
Dignitas tried, and Dignitas failed.
You know, somebody,
I mean, in previous tournaments.
Somebody tweeted me. They may or may not have used hashtag HGC, if you guys want to use that hashtag. And they said, how likely do you think it is that we're going to see a Murky? I'm like, probably not.
Yeah.
like 0%, like 0.2% chance. But
Pretty unlikely. Here's where we see some teams will pick up a support early just to lock down whatever support they want. I don't think Dignitas is going to do this. I'm curious to see if they're going to take Zagara here because Mane is a great Kael'thas player. This leaves Snitch to potentially play Zagara. He's a great Zagara player. He's been playing a lot of Zagara this tournament. And if they don't take it here, Team Liquid may deny it. We've already seen a lot of teams actually hover over Zagara bans, but they're going to go with the Arthas instead.
I figured that might be the case. They've been, again, harping on this double warrior comp so much. Arthas and Muradin have been their go-to duo, so they don't particularly want it to be banned out, because I would have almost guaranteed it would have been an Arthas ban.
I think we can pretty much, if Zagara's not banned here, unless Team Liquid comes out with some type of cheese, I think we're going to see a Zagara being picked up for Dignitas.
Okay, this ban's not crazy.
I don't think this limits Dignitas too much, though, if they ban this. Like,
guys, Dignitas versus Fnatic last night, the game that they dominated Fnatic on, their draft, Muradin, KT, Rhaegar, Arthas, Zagara.
Yeah.
Zagara is definitely going to go on the side of Dignitas here if they let it go through this draft, I'd say, through this ban phase. It's just too
Unless
much
Liquid
to ignore.
takes it.
Wow, they're just really trying to deny support, so you're going to take the Kharazim away. This is another thing that Dignitas is not going to be too afraid about. Most likely, Liquid will take Rhaegar away here and try to do a little bit of a support choke. And they also have Greymane, which pairs really well with Uther, so if they force Dignitas to use Uther here, they don't have a great hero that pairs well with that Divine Shield at this moment in time. They don't have a strong bruiser frontliner. Greymane's been taken away. Sonya's banned in this tournament globally.
I like it.
Yeah.
I actually think a support choke here with Rhaegar and the Karazim ban, the more I think about it, I really like it, because who is Uther going to Divine Shield if they go with an Uther pick on the side of Dignitas?
I mean, the whole thing about it is that even if you do go with Uther, sometimes we see a play around talents a little bit when you talk about trying to deny tributes, getting that extra range on the wave to be able to poke it away. It is something that we do see from time to time. At least we do in the North American scene. They try and deny it with Uther alone.
Yeah, too in Europe. Yeah.
So I'm just continuing this line of thinking, this theory crafting, as they do lock in the Rhaegar now. If they take Uther, the only real hero that makes sense here is Thrall, but then you're really going, that just doesn't fit the composition anymore. So yeah, I like this choice a lot. We even had Bakery literally on stage here in an interview say he doesn't like Uther as much. It's got long cooldowns. If you miss your Divine Shield, you don't get value on it. He's just an inferior support when it comes compared to Karazim and Rhaegar.
What about support heroes that we saw during the Summer Championship in Sweden? For example, that Morales coming in from the Korean teams, Meride, MVP Black. Is that something we can expect at all to show up here in DreamHack Valencia as well?
He's been playing more affluently than some other supports as of late. It's definitely not out of the question whether they want to go for it or not.
To be honest, I'd almost rather see a Malfurion here than a Morales with these two large health pools as heal that kind of just slowly over time keeps everybody alive.
But there's huge blow up potential on the side of Li Ming and Greymane. It'd be very, very scary.
Right. So many options still to choose from in the support department. Arthas, I have to say, I really like that pick in particular, because we've seen Syndra Ghost, that we see Army of the Dead. This hero can be played in so many different ways that it proves to be a real threat to the enemy team.
The only surprise I think I have from Arthas pick is that they picked it up as early as they did. They've also played a Nubarak on this map. Obviously, Nubarak plays very well. We talked about it earlier about defense against Li Ming, Dampen Magic, and of course the Beetles that are there. So I'm a little surprised they picked it up earlier, but that could be a direct response to Greymane. Do you guys kind of feel the same way? Maybe to get a little bit of root going there? Or
I'm just really trying to figure out who's going to be this fifth pick, because nothing that Dignitas has really shown us fits the slot. Zagara.
It would normally be Zagara.
Zagara would normally be the one, but she's not really the one you want a Divine Shield, and it leaves their only front lines really to be the double tank composition and have a normal bruiser.
Yeah.
It's just going to be Zagara anyways, but
go with what you know.
Yeah, nice. I agree. The thing is,
what? Whoa. Well, everybody slow down.
They must be listening in the
No, I swear to God, I didn't do it.
Oh, they're trolling us.
No way.
Athero's the biggest troll.
It's a total troll.
Athero's the biggest troll.
Oh my God, it's the patrol! It's Lily going!
Athero, stop it.
Oh, yes.
Can you imagine Twitch chat for like 2 seconds? Just like, oh my goodness.
I just want to say it again. Said it at the start of this tournament. Tyrael, he's going to be the playmaker. He's going to be a playmaker. We're going to see him in the finals as well. And Athero, hopefully, fingers crossed, 100 fingers crossed, that he gets to play Tyrael, because Athero, probably the original Tyrael?
I was going to say, wasn't that his entrance into the pro scene in Heroes of the Storm, playing Tyrael only pretty much?
A lot, and that was him basically like dominating BlizzCon up until the finals when the Americans said, maybe we should ban Tyrael. And then they won. Oh, that was a good idea. I think he was like 11-1 up until that point.
This is after the Koreans were using Tyrael, but with Judgment for a long time, and then
Not
that
Sanct.
was bad. Not Sanct. The original Tyraels were bad Tyraels, okay, with Lockdown playing with Judgment. I actually think this Dignitas draft is inferior, because I don't think the Divine Shield is going to get much value here. I think they got support choked, and they got denied by the fact that they already picked an Arthas early, so they couldn't put another bruiser in here like Thrall that's going to get value from Divine Shield. Also, the Greymane that was taken away from them as well, another hero that takes really good benefit from Divine Shield.
I don't know if I share the same point of view you do. I actually like both drafts for what they're trying to counter from the other. Obviously, if Greymane can get to that back line, you get any type of range from Li Ming to get that poke and get the blow up, then Divine Shield could help, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's time to move on to prediction, boys. It's a new semifinals, new teams, new predictions. Kalaris, what do you think?
Oh, please.
I've got problems, because on one side there's my
Tyrael
boys,
and
and then on the other side there's Tyrael.
What a dilemma.
I'm going with Tyrael. I'm going with Team Liquid.
Oh, okay.
Can I get a...
Did that just happen?
Help. They're gonna get me.
Can I get a Tyrael high five? Can I get a Tyrael high five? All right. Tyrael, I'm going with Team Liquid as well.
Nice. J-Ho.
I don't care about Tyrael. I care about Dignitas, because they're good. They're actually really good, and I'm going with Dignitas.
All right.
I'm going to join the Team Liquid hype wagon here, and I think they will actually make it.
The Team Tyrael
I'm
hype
cool
wagon.
standing alone.
Yeah, I mean,
Have fun losing, boys.
their draft looks solid. I think they surprised a lot of people when they took down Mind Sandy, and I think they can do it again against Team Dignitas. But, you know, let's get straight to the nitty-gritty and move on to the casters. It's going to be Grubby and Tetra. Do it, boys.
Second semi-final, the Tyrael hype train has left the station, and we're going to be heading in to map number 1. Myself and Grubby, we have a very good game to cast.
Yes, definitely. So exciting to see these combinations come out. You already mentioned these just now in the pre-chat. These teams really take an effort to counter each other. And it's a very different draft than what we've seen so far, especially coming out of Team Liquid here. So cool to see. Let's get right down to it.
Yeah, so speaking of Team Liquid, let's introduce them on the right-hand side. And playing for them, we have the Rhaegar being played by Gerd. We have Greymane being played by Chris. Li Ming by Sport Billy. ETC by Shad. And in the mid lane, it is going to be the legendary Athero Angel. On the Angel, it is Tyrael. Whereas on the left-hand side, it is going to be Team Dignitas. And we have Kael'thas being played by Maynard. JPL by Muradin. Sorry, the other way around. Zagara by Snitch. They're going for Greymane here. Going to try and get the first blood. He's dropped low. Living Bomb not enough. And it's not going to be a first blood. But in the mid lane, it is Uther, played by Bakery. And top lane, it is Arthas, played by Alex the Pro G. And he is having a warrior duel with Tyrael.
And this is what I always hope to see in Heroes of the Storm, lore-wise, seeing Tyrael square off against Arthas. Yeah. Such an epic battle.
Ruin or Frostmourne, Grubby. Which one do you put your faith behind?
What is the better sword? We will see. Now, Alex has been
Clearly
playing a lot of Arthas so far with that block. The bonus damage on Frozen Tempest at level 4 and the relentless talent, the Icebound Fortitude at level 7. His own brand of it. There we go. Sport Billy.
Oh, there's the stun and the Flame Strike deleted here by Dignitas. Very nicely done, and that is going to be first blood to Dignitas on their second attempt.
And you know what, Tetra? I just want to reiterate again. These kind of deaths, they are not necessary per se. It's not like they're kind of high risk, high reward style. Once you choose to mount, to dismount and to start attacking the minion wave, while there's 2 people missing on the map, you are taking a very real risk. And you're really underestimating that if those 2 people are there, you think, oh, I can just get away from anything. Like, yes, it's a small mistake. It may not have such a big influence on the game, but then again, it may. Because look at this. Li Ming wasn't there to defend the gate, wasn't there to defend the towers, and now suddenly that's a 0.8 level lead for just a single takedown.
Yeah, they weren't able to defend that. Gerd on his own, just a melee character against so much CC, he's not going to take that risk. Maynard and Bakery already in position here to begin taking their mercenaries, as is the same on the other side with the Rhaegar and the ETC here.
But
sorry, that's the Greymane.
It's funny because they always arrive like 4 seconds early.
Yeah, just like stand there watching just like any second now.
Yeah. Well, they get the camps. Garrett is actually delaying it just a tad. And there we go. And actually, Team Liquid can call themselves slightly lucky because Greymane Chris also almost died in the beginning engagement, and these kind of engagements keep happening.
Yeah.
Dignitas had a 3-0 lead in takedowns previously on this map, and you just gotta be careful. They are very on point.
Yep, level lead currently in favor of Dignitas by almost a full XP bar. Level 5 will be hit soon. Athero taking a lot of CC. Shad, though, going to be peeling with some good stuns and getting a good amount of harass onto Maynard. Athero coming back in here to deal some more damage, but Team Liquid taking way too much. They are outnumbered, having to try and back up. ETC getting focused. There's the power slide. He has so little health, but he is out for the moment. Dodging the flame.
Wow. Oh my. A lot of expletives come to mind. Shad did a great number there. He power slided in. He did a very long extended period of body blocking, and he got out dodging Stormbolt after Flame Strike after Stormbolt. Really nice. And it just survived. Of course, the tribute goes to Team Dignitas.
Yeah, they had a big numbers advantage there for a bit too long. They were able to take control, and it's worked very nicely for them. And as such, they continue their half a level lead, basically, just keeping that XP bar ahead, continuing to roam around. If they can get some more kills, this is going to start to snowball a little bit into their favor. But Team Liquid, they have good map control, and they're going to start their bruisers that little bit earlier. And Li Ming needs to be cautious of the bot lane.
She did mount up, which makes it far easier to dodge storm bolts, as we can see.
Yep, and as such, the Bruiser does go over to Team Liquid without anything traded for it. No kills. Shad finds JPL, demounts him, and because of that, is able to see where the rotation is, which helps out Team Liquid a lot to know when to be cautious and when to be aggressive.
And that's the Warriors' job, scoping out those kind of movements. Also, good job there by Sportbelly not getting caught. And that also shows that while it's not very exciting to dodge getting ganked, you're not exactly making anything happen.
Yeah.
All you're doing is not dying. But actually the value you get out of that is the opportunity lost for the opponent, as Team Liquid was able to capture the Bruiser camp during this. And it gives them the first move on the tribute.
Yeah, it may not look fancy. Oh, nice interrupt by Zagara there.
Yeah.
But it may not
Very
look fancy. It may not look fancy not getting ganked, but you can't do anything fancy if you're dead. So it is much better here. Snitch getting body blocks, but the towers will be enough to force back Shad. And the tribute finally going over to Gerd, putting the tribute count to 1-1.
Yeah, but it's a nice thing to point out, because oftentimes the excellence in a player doesn't always come from the flashy moves, but it's by not making any mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. And this is where we see perfection, basically. This is where we see it. It might not be the most impressive of played, but it works. Alex getting chunked there by Sportbelly, just showing how powerful this Li Ming can be sometimes, but you need that to be happening in the fight. And in the fights, Alex has that icebound fortitude you were talking about earlier, Grubby.
Yeah. And here they go for the second tower. Actually, there's a boss attempt coming out from Team Liquid. What a move with just 3 players. That way you hide your intentions a little bit. And Dignitas got a single tower, and I dare say the boss is worth just a little bit more than that.
Yeah, the issue is they're only half health on it, and Greymane didn't show. So they started to work out something was up. Greymane comes in to try and burst it down, but Dignitas are here. It's going to be the full fight. Tyrael's on his way, but Team Liquid getting massacred here. Greymane down. We may see... Oh, sorry, Rhaegar down. Now Greymane down. Both dogs are dead. They're trying to get Li Ming too, and the boss taken by Dignitas. A disaster for Team Liquid.
Well, I was right. The boss is worth more than a tower.
Yeah, just a bit.
But unfortunately for Team Liquid, they both went to Team Dignitas' side.
Yeah, and I think Greymane not showing in the bot lane there may have been a mistake. He came up to help burst it down, but Dignitas, suddenly they see one person on the map and they're like, wait where could they possibly be? Let's go deal with it, because we're grouped, because we're roaming.
Yeah, and of course, there was 3 people missing as well. No one was showing in the top lane, so it only took a few moments to find out, and it was a warrior support and a burst mage kind of in Li Ming. That's why it wasn't fast enough to get that. Ideally, Greymane would have been on that. And you know what? He was hiding his heroic for now. It's Syndragosa to get bonus value out of this boss.
Yeah, then that is so aggressive. They want to snowball this as best as they can. They take down the towers. Boss still with 2/3 hit points, and they immediately move up to the keep. But to keep this early would just be very nearly game over for Team Liquid. They would have to do so much to get it back, and the boss will finish this. That's a 7-minute keep for Team Dignitas.
Well, what can they do to get it back, the keep?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, don't get it back. I mean, get the keep back, not the keep
Get
back.
the advantage back. I was like, man, I need to know how to get keeps back.
He's dropped that mule just a little bit earlier.
Maybe some character in the future will have like a super mule, can start building it back up again.
Oh my God, that'd be so broken. Oh, wow. So here comes the tribute up in top. If Dignitas get this, it's going to be a curse. They were trying to go for the boss here, and oh no, Shad.
What, the root as well?
Stank. The stank is good. That will keep Shad alive. He power slides out, though, and they do leash the boss. If they could all get out of here, Team Liquid, they have a good chance of trying to maybe make a play on that tribute, but the boss, Dignitas can just turn around and go for it.
We need to report this boss for collusion, because he was putting that root on ETC like he was born to do it. Athero Angel had to use his sanctification to save ETC there. Now, one little silver lining is that Team Liquid is getting their second tribute. Li Ming is in position to get it.
They've actually played this very well. They burn Sanctification in exchange for a tribute and the leash on that boss. Unfortunately, Dignitas now reacting by just taking another 4, because there's absolutely nothing that Liquid can do about it.
3 levels down with just 3 takedowns. So much structural damage has been inflicted already by Team Dignitas. And the next tribute, guess what? Team Liquid is not going to have their level 13 yet. So they either need to fight an extremely disadvantageous fight, or they need to manipulate the movement on the map in such a way that they can get a favorable fight, as in 5 versus 2, 5 versus 4, that kind of thing. And they're hunting for that.
Yeah.
Now, if they capture their siege camp, they will reveal their position. So they're kind of wondering, but you know what? It's Athero Angel who gets caught.
He takes some damage. He's trying to stay alive. Drops the shield. Drops the sack. He can Eldarin's out of here if he can do it in time, which he won't. JPL finishing him off by getting into position. Here's the Syndragosa. Get out of position. And Team Dignitas just snowballing. There's the Maw catching another shot. Dropping some rock on sides there as he goes down. But Dignitas, a 3-man kill there. And the tribute, which is going to be a curse. Team Liquid, I am so sorry, friends.
Yeah, and you know what? They're not going to capture this tribute immediately. The right play here is to get the boss, and once the boss is about halfway the bottom lane, that's when you capture the tribute. You get maximum value, you guarantee the keep, and you know what? Maybe you get the game out of it. It's going to be almost level 16 by the time the bottom keep goes down.
Yeah, this is not looking good. Like, what could Liquid do? They need to just get the perfect Mosh full team wipe to just have any chance of staying in this game at this point.
And let's see if there's a comeback potential in this game. So far, it has been raining and pouring for Team Liquid, with a few early mistakes leading to such a snowballed advantage here for Team Dignitas. Merciless is Team Dignitas. Of course, Syndragosa is going to be up in just 30 seconds, but they don't need it yet since the tribute is still lasting. The curse is still lasting for a minute.
Yeah, so they can just finish off the curse and then immediately Syndragosa afterwards. But Shad and Athero and Chris in position for the flag. Sportbully and Gerd trying to be the distraction, but Athero has been spotted. Shad pulling out. He goes in. There's the Mosh. Good sack to block it. In comes the leaving damage, but she's rooted by Arthas to prevent any work, and it's still a wipe for Dignitas. They're killing off everything here. Go for Gerd. He gets deleted. Shad will survive this, as will Athero, but the keep won't. And that could be game. There's the Syndragosa. Curse isn't even over yet. They just want Shad. They take down his Shad. And there goes the keep.
Brutal, Thatcher. Brutal.
It is so brutal. Just Athero left defending the core on his own. 7 seconds, though, until his team is alive. He's trying to delay, but he's on his own here. And Dignitas taking down the core to 50%, 40%, and that is GG, Grubby.
GG, 11-minute game. Absolutely hammered here. 10-0 in takedowns. Dignitas takes a very, very big first win.
Yeah, that was insane with the power of Tyrael. Not enough to save them. The stacks were pretty on point, but Dignitas, they took hold of the game and they never let go. Second that boss raid happened, like they were already a bit ahead in XP due to the kills, but the second that boss raid happened, it was just all downhill from there.
And sometimes you see these comeback games where people say, it doesn't matter how many times we kill the opponent, there's always a chance that the opponent get a lucky mosh pit, that they get back into the game. There's way too many comebacks in this game. And actually, no. If you are playing well, even at level 9, the game can be decided. Yeah. That boss fight, just like you said, that was absolutely the end of the game.
Yeah, this is the second 10-0 game I think we've had in a row. And we're going to send it back over to the caster, to the analysis desk, to have a talk about it. Because, wow, what a game, guys.